We've all heard of the birds and the bees, but when things aren't buzzing like you want, are there other options? Welcome back to Get Connected. I'm your host, Conn Jackson. We have a superstar here with us today. Bill Rancic will be joining us live. You know him from The Apprentice. You know him from his show with his wife, Juliana. And supposedly, he's going to announce even a brand new show that we can see him in. He's a good-looking man, and he joins us now. Bill, welcome to Get Connected.
Thanks for having me back. How are you?
Well, Bill, I'm great. And one thing's for certain, you must be pretty comfortable with all the cameras that seem to be following you around these days.
It started 8 years ago with The Apprentice, which was kind of a baptism by fire, where the cameras were on me 24/7, and then, kind of progressed into some of the other things that I've been doing with television.
You know, Bill, I've always wanted to ask you, what led you to audition for The Apprentice?
It's funny, it was this girl I went to college with, her mom was a talent agent in Chicago for children, and she called me up and said, I made you an appointment to meet with these people next week, you better be there. And that was it. And I met with these folks because they were looking for entrepreneurs to compete. And I mean, literally 2 weeks later, I was filming a TV show. It all happened so quickly.
And Bill, now you're a bona fide star. What is that like?
That's a stretch, but certainly, been able to enjoy some of the, aspects of television. And my wife and I came out with the Juliana and Bill show. And then I'm doing a new show coming out this fall called America Now with Lisa Gibbons. Her and I are going to be co-hosting the show together.
Oh, really? Well, what's that show going to be about?
You know, it's a news you can use program, and I often compare it to the old PM magazine. I don't know if you remember that show from back in the day, but it's going to be kind of a version of that, where it's filled with enriching news stories that you can actually implement into your daily life.
Well, I certainly look forward to tuning in and checking it out. But Bill, let's turn our attention to some of the drama that was on the Bill and Juliana show. You guys have been for some time trying to get pregnant and working through various options. What advice would you give to others that face infertility? You know,
I'll tell you, when we first started talking about it on the show, I was a little reluctant. I didn't know if it was something we should really discuss. And after getting into it and airing the program, we realized that it affects a lot more people than you would think. It's 1 in 8 couples in America struggle with infertility. So my wife and I have really been on a mission to help folks out there who are going through the same thing and to help arm them with knowledge. And it's really been a crusade of ours. So today I'm talking about something that's really kind of new as far as a possibility for having a child. It's something called embryo donation. And it's somewhat of a byproduct of the IVF process, where people who go through IVF oftentimes have extra embryos that are frozen, and what they do is they donate those embryos to couples who are struggling to have a child, and it's quite an incredible gift that one couple can give to another, and it's something that I think more and more people are starting to look into.
You know, Bill, when you first heard about embryo donation, what excited you most at first?
Well, I just think that it's another option, a lot of people give up. A lot of people suffer in silence, and I think, whether it's IVF, whether it's embryo donation, whether it's adoption, I think you have to explore all your options in a way you can create a family. So this is something that hasn't really been discussed. Not a lot of people know a lot about it. So I thought this is something that I could, help share with folks in the U.S. and let them know that, hey, there is help out there. And I want to share a great website. Resolve.org is a fantastic website, and they've also created another website called mydestinationfamily.org, and these are websites that aren't selling anything, they're not pushing products, they're just there to help people make smart, educated decisions.
You know, Bill, how much are you and Juliana looking into this option for yourselves?
Well, I mean, that's something that down the road we may consider. We've gone through the IVF process, the in vitro fertilization process, and we're exploring all of our options right now. So, it's definitely something down the road that we would consider doing, and it may be a good fit for us, but we're not at that point in the process just yet.
Bill, given all that you've been through, what advice would you give to other couples that are facing infertility and how they can support one another?
Well, you just have to be there, and I think you can't assess blame because it takes two to tango, and it's not one or the other person's fault, and that's where a lot of couples, I think, can get into trouble, is when they say, oh, you know, you're shooting blanks, or, you know, you've got old eggs, or whatever the case may be. You know, that doesn't work. I think you've got to say, hey, we're in this together, and we're going to go through this process together. And you know, when one person's down, you hope the other person's there to pull them up, and vice versa.
Well, Bill, we certainly wish you and Juliana the best in this effort. And as we wrap things up, given all your well-deserved success, what advice would you give to others living out their dreams?
The one motto I like to live by is that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And life is going to throw curveballs at you. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, and there's going to be times when you want to quit, but you got to dig deep and fight on. And that applies to every aspect of your life, whether it's your career, whether it's your relationship, you know, whether it's your family. You gotta you know, ride the highs and the lows, and never ever give up.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Bill. You are one tough dude, surviving the boardroom with Trump. Continued success. Thanks for the advice today, and we look forward to tuning into your show this fall.
Great talking with you again. Thank you.
Bill Rancic is one of my favorite, cool as a cucumber kind of guy. Really look forward to meeting him in person. Now, when we come back, we've got a big surprise right here on Get Connected.